Welcome to the Cover 2 show. I'm your host, Jason. Back with me, DC, after missing last week. Uh, he had some personal business to take care of there.
Yeah, her family was in town, so I was
Yeah,
pretty obligated.
that's all right. I picked up the slack,
It
put out the
was amazing.
episode. Yeah, it just, when you do it by yourself, you get through everything really fast, and there's no counterpoint or extra point of view to it.
Yeah, no conversation.
Yeah. But let's jump right into it. We'll start with the team of the week. You want to say who that is this week?
Team of the week, we're gonna go with Buckeye Local. Buckeye Local defeated Shady Side 20-14 in overtime.
Yeah, big win for the Panthers down there. I believe that was at home. I'm not sure. It might have
Yes,
been
it was at
in.
home.
Yeah, big win there in War Memorial Stadium in Yorkville. A
Good old round of applause for Buckeye
yeah,
Local.
little bit better for the Panthers.
There you go,
Yeah, I guess
Panthers.
an applause there. Yeah, big win for the Panthers. Upset win over Shady Side. Didn't see that one coming.
No, not at
Uh,
all.
yeah. Uh, Congratulations to them. Uh, go into was at the Indian Creek game. You didn't go to a game this week because you had a bachelor party.
Yeah, I was all the way
Why
over
we're
by
doing this on,
Philadelphia.
yeah, that's why we're doing this on Zoom this week instead of in person. Figured that out.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so I was at the Creek game. They they're a good football team. Uh, I don't think they're as impressive as I was thought they were going to be once I seen them in person, because it seemed like they took their foot off the gas in the second half there against Union Local. They were up 20-7 at the half, got a field goal in the second half to go up 23-7, and then a block punt, a long touchdown run, and it's 20-15. and and UL had all the momentum, but Creek's defense stood up tall. Uh, Luke McMillan at defensive end had a big game. We'll talk about him more in the key players for this week's game. But yeah, Creek, uh, they keep getting better. They'll be all right. I think I'm going to slow back on my they could be Big Red talk. I don't know if they could, even this year's Big Red team, but maybe they should move up a little bit and start playing Wheeling Park. Maybe get a couple wins against Park and move on to Big Red in the regular season. I think that would
Get
be a
that as
good.
a stepping stone.
Yeah, they do have to start beating St. Clairsville. They do have some success in their history against St. Clairsville, so tough matchup for St. Clairsville playing physical teams like Indian Creek.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's at Creek this year.
yeah, it's out there in Kettlewell Stadium this year. While I was out there, I was like looking, like they could bring in more stands to put on that visitor side,
Oh yeah.
probably, but I don't think it's as many as me and you like would think in our heads. You know what I mean?
Nah, you could probably
So
add one each
it'd be,
side.
yeah, they'd have to bring in another set of stands to put in the end zone with the scoreboard for the visitor band, I think, or move that little stand over there that they have for the visitor band. For bigger, they'd
Yeah,
need a big set of stands for the band over there because their band's just as big as Creek's. But yeah, I think they could host Big Red there for sure. Just they would have to bring in some more stands somehow
definitely.
in that visitor side.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe that'll be the next modification for them at their stadium because they've got the new track. They've redone some of the other stuff. Maybe they'll put in a bigger visitor section. At least goes 20-20. As my microphone falls into my face. Uh,
But yeah, they could definitely make it work, even if you bring in like the portable ones, like we
yeah,
see sometimes. That's not a bad idea. But with the renovation, they could easily add on a couple extra rows.
definitely. They could definitely add more. If it just ran, if their stands on the visitor side ran 30-30, I think it would be better. I think right now they might be 40-40, Like it's not a very big
It's not
section
that
over there.
big.
Yeah, they do have that little set of stands for a visitor band, like I said, but even their Creek's home side, I mean, they have that big section that probably runs 35 to 35, and then have the two little sections on the side. I'm not saying they
Yeah.
need that on their visitor side because Steubenville's visitor side's way too big for Steubenville now. They
Yeah.
probably they used to get the crowds for that size stadium. They definitely don't anymore. I mean, they get the home crowd, but definitely Indian
Seems
Valley is
too
probably
far
the biggest
away.
crowd they'll have this year. I'd say that was a
Yeah, it
pretty.
seems
They
too
had
far away.
yeah yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't play local schools. And then the local
Yeah.
schools they do play don't want them. It's not a big following in. Outside of playing Creek, there's few times, even though I don't think anyone walking in that stadium thought Indian Creek had a shot. Maybe the
Yeah.
Creek fans. I don't know. I would think even they would be realist about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, we'll move into the games of the week, though. Uh, Starting off with Indian Creek and Weir. Key player this week for Indian Creek would be Luke McMillan. Like I said, he had a huge game last week. He had an interception, multiple pressures, and a sack. And then he dropped back into coverage on a screen, swing pass screen type of play out of his rush from his DN position to stop that and force the quarterback to scramble late in the game. Uh, I don't remember him at all last year. He might have been an interior lineman that moved to DN because both the DNs graduated. But yeah, he was a beast. Like if he's a senior, he should have been playing last year more than he did. He's definitely a beast. And then for Weir, wide receiver, defensive back, Deontay Masters will be the key player for them. Uh, they got to get their offense going though, and Quincy Wilson being a former running back, he's going to want to pound the ball on the ground, get that
Yeah.
running game going for the Weir Red Riders. Um, my keys to victory, or our keys to victory anyway, for Indian Creek, continue the strong defensive play. Uh, Starkey's arm and legs. The first half of that game, he was running all over the place and then making plays with his arm. Second half, it didn't seem like Indian Creek was doing that as much. I don't know what was going on there with that. Like they tried to just sit on the lead, it seemed like, which teams do a lot.
Yeah.
And then they need to force mistakes on the Red Riders since they got that whole new coaching staff and system. You want to force them into situations they're not wanting to be in. For the Red Riders, they need to stay ahead on the sticks. Get 5-6 yards on that first down play. Try to get themselves in third and manageable, if not second and short. And then no turnovers. Don't give Indian Creek extra chances. And if the game's close, let's try to get Indian Creek playing behind late because that's not something they're used to doing this year. And you can force them into a mistake in that situation with them not playing from behind a lot already in these first three games.
Yeah, definitely. With Creek, keep being explosive. Don't take your foot off the gas. Red Riders, you got to get ahead of them real quick. Stay with the chains. And if you can't run the ball because of Creek's interior line being so big and strong, you're going to have to be able to pass the ball. Even if it's short
Yeah,
dinks and dunks, just get the chains moving.
yeah. They're with the Creek having those big interior linemen, those two big tackles on offense and defense. They play both ways. Uh, not the, they're not out there every play on defense, but it makes it tough for teams when they get that size,
Oh, yeah.
especially the one. I think it's Samaje White. He's 6'7", probably 350. He
Well,
looks
he's
like an
taking up,
NFL lineman out there. Yeah, yeah. So he's a big boy, and his brother's shorter, but just as probably big size wise. He's a big boy too. He's every bit of probably close to 300 pounds as well. He's probably 6 foot. Um, that'll be it for that game. We only got two more on this week because we have two big rivalry games, so they take up a lot of time talking about. The first one will be Steubenville Mooney, Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. This one's been a playoff uh, rivalry more than in the regular season, but now they start to play here for the last 3 or 4 years in the regular season. Uh, Mooney was Big Red's first ever playoff game in 1981. The Cardinals defeated the Big Red 49-0. I believe that game was in Harding Stadium. I'm pretty sure. I was 4 years old, so I don't know for sure.
I wasn't
Uh,
even thought about.
yeah, yeah. Your dad was 4 years old as well, so uh, both teams they have a combined total of 13 state championships between them. Mooney with 8, Steubenville with 5. Um, like I said, they've met in the playoffs 7 times, I believe it is 9 times. 9 times, I think they've met in the playoffs. Yeah,
I'm
Mooney
not
was
sure.
7-2 leading into the regular season series starting. So 9 times they played in the playoffs. Mooney was 7-2 against Bigger in those playoff games. Not since they've started playing in the regular season, Steubenville's won the 2 games, so now they're 7-4. This this year might be a year Mooney gets one back on them, though. Mooney's going to be tough in the trenches. It seems to be a place the Big Reds struggled so far to start the season. Um, Ike Lake, running back for Cardinal Mooney, will be their key player of this game. Uh, but they'll have a host of backs. He will just be the featured back. They're not afraid to switch up to a different back. We've seen that in the past. Whoever's got the hot hand, they'll ride it. Um, and then for Big Red, Travion Wiggins, the free safety, he's going to have to be aware, come up and stop that running game, and be aware of that play action pass, not to get caught out of position there. But he'll be a key player. He's one of the better players on the Big Red's defense. Anything you want to add to that matchup? You've played in those games, so
Yeah, I've played in. I know I played in one, and that was my
yeah.
state championship year. Whenever we played them in Salem,
Salem, yeah, Salem,
that game was freezing. But
yeah,
even in that, you just know with the rich history, the rivalry is called Clash of the Titans because they're both powerhouses in the state of
yeah,
Ohio. It's who's going to win the trenches. This game's going to be won in the trenches. It always
yeah,
has. You have to show up and be ready to fight. And Big Red's had 2 weeks off. You had 2 weeks
yeah.
to
Two
prepare
weeks
for this
off.
game.
Now,
You just got to win
your
the
four
trenches.
years, your 4 years at Big Red. Did you guys end up with a 9 game season, regular season, or did you guys
Yes,
have all? Yeah.
because I know the
What'd you
one
do on the
year
week off?
that whole week off was still preparation. So that
Yeah,
first week we did a lot more conditioning, especially to get ready for I forget who we were playing the following week, but it was a lot of conditioning, a lot of film watching, less pads because for that first week you don't want to kill your body.
yeah,
So that first week was kind of like more of mental preparation instead of physical. So during that second week we treated it like a normal week.
yeah. I was
But
just
yeah, no,
curious. It's not normal for high schools to have a bye week, so
no,
um,
they didn't even want us going to other games that week.
yeah. Well, they do anyway, though.
But we still did. I
Yeah,
went to the Creek game. I know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, no.
There were some big red kids at the Creek game Friday night, so I know they were at other games this week. And then they always. It seems like 90% of the big red team goes to Catholic Central games when they're at home anyway, because that's Saturday
Yeah,
game.
especially
So
being Saturday. But
yeah,
yeah, no, for this game, it's going to be one of the trenches. The O
yeah,
line has to show up. You have to.
yeah. And that's one of our keys of victory for Steubenville was the physicality in the trenches. They're going to have to at least break even in those battles. Like if you lose a play, you got to win the next one, and that's been Bigger's mindset. Set, as far as I know, it's always
Yeah.
at least win in the trenches. And so far this year, they've lost in the trenches both games, especially against Indian Valley, which was a shocker because Indian Valley's fans were saying how their offensive line wasn't that good coming into that game. So. Uh, Not that they weren't good, but they weren't as good as the line they had when they won the state title last year.
Yeah.
Um, but they looked good against Big Red. And the thing about Indian Valley, their line was like the same size all the way across. Look, they like cloned one kid and just had 5 of them. But that I mean that's how Big Red usually looks though. They don't usually have that one
usually.
real big kid. It's usually like about the same size kid all the way across the line, which they are this year. Just they're a little bit smaller than normal, I would think. And
Yeah, they're a bit small, but you just gotta be more physical.
yeah, typically that doesn't hurt Big Red, but this year it's just something
Just
ain't
seems like
clicking.
it.
Yeah, they'll get it together though. I mean, they had that week off. Uh, they're gonna have to win the turnover battle. The defense has played better than the scores in the two games. I think being on the field as much as the defense has, I think has hurt the defense more than anything, especially against two teams that ran the ball so well. Um, and Big Red, I know they're having a hard time running the football, but I think it's mainly because no one's scared of their passing game at this point,
Mhm.
and you're just seeing 10 guys in the box and just threatening Big Red to get the ball down the field, and they're not able to do it so far. So they got to get that passing game going to help that running game out. I feel. You have anything to add to those keys for Big Red?
I mean, yeah, the passing game, Big Red only has 190 yards passing in two
Yeah,
weeks,
yeah, and then I think it was what they only have like 90 some rushing or something.
89 yards rushing.
Yeah,
So the
but
offense got to pick it up.
yeah, the offense has not clicked so far, and we know there's some new coaches on the offensive side, so that may be part of the reason. Just getting used to the new
Yeah. But yeah,
changes.
definitely when the turnover battles, you got to be secure with the ball. I think they have two fumbles, two picks.
Yeah, two fumbles, and I know they threw a couple interceptions the last game against Indian Valley. So those interceptions in the Indian Valley really are what caused the game to get out of hand, especially when
Mm,
you throw one in an end zone after a great kickoff return. But
yeah.
I think that a lot of that's just inexperience at the quarterback position instead of just throwing a ball away, trying to force it in there and stuff like that. That's stuff that by the end of the year you won't see. At least you're hoping.
Nah, you shouldn't. But yeah,
Yeah,
no. Be able to control the ball. That's going to
yeah,
be a key factor as well.
yeah. Just they just need to calm down. Don't worry about it. And uh, the other key I feel is the Steubenville faithful. They need to get that "Let's Go Red" chant going before opening kickoff. Get them kids fired up because
They
they're
need it.
down, and there's been a lot of stuff on social media from parents of players talking about how it's disgusting how some of the people are talking about those kids, and they are just kids.
They are.
Yeah,
They are just
so,
kids. But yeah, no. Show up, show out.
yeah,
Especially for this game.
yeah.
Boys are
This
going to need
game, if
that.
you're not up for this game, then why are you playing? Right?
Yeah. Why are you going to the games?
Yeah. And then for Mooney, uh, they're going to unleash those running backs on Big Red. That's going to be their key to the game. They're just going to try to ground and pound Big Red. It's worked for Ursuline in Indian Valley, and that's Mooney's bread and butter. So Big Red's defense got to wait, stand tough in them trenches in the first half, especially if the offense is sputtering still. They're going to have to make some plays on defense to help out the offense. Uh, Mooney's going to have to play discipline. They're not going to want to take any bad penalties or anything like that. In a rivalry game like this, we've seen Mooney get a little chippy with Big Red when they've gotten behind. Sometimes it gets called, sometimes it doesn't. But if Big Red can lull one of the Mooney kids into being the second guy, throwing a push or whatever after the whistle, you can get a Big Red will do that. They'll be trying to get in their heads. So uh, and then Mooney got to bring all the pressure on defense. Just keep putting 9-10 in the box and forcing Big Red to try to throw. Um, I wouldn't. I would. That's what I would do. Until they can beat you with the pass, I'd make them beat me with the pass.
Keep Haney uncomfortable in that pocket.
Yeah, yeah. Keep him moving around. Seems like when he has time to set his feet and throw, that's when he's especially with the inexperience that he has as a starter. Only his third game here, so
Yeah.
he doesn't. If you don't let him get comfortable, he's not gonna perform well, like any kid would.
Yeah, just like anybody.
Yeah,
Especially being so young and the
yeah,
pressure that's at least on Big Red system.
yeah,
The kid has enough pressure as it is.
yes, yeah. Uh, But that'll do that for that one. And then we'll move into our other rivalry. It's, the Beaver local Beavers and the East Liverpool Potters. So Beaver locals made our game of the week for 3 straight weeks. um,
It just
that's just the way the
happened.
schedule works. They had three. Well, probably could have not put the Brook game on there, but you wanted it on there, so
I want to see what
we didn't
Brooke
know
got.
Brook was going to be what Brook's going to be, and I don't think Brook's as bad as what they've started out as either.
Nah, I think it's just a new system, but they'll get
Yeah,
the ball rolling. Hopefully
yeah.
this week.
Uh, this rivalry goes back to September 15th, 1962. So we're looking at 63 years they've been playing off and on. The first game ever was a 16-12 upset win by Beaver Local. And some other noteworthy games was in 1993, Beaver Local had a 26-22 comeback win. And that was when East Liverpool was really good at football, and Beaver Local not so much. And
Mhm.
then in 2001, when the fortunes for those schools were opposite, and Beaver was the better school at football, East Liverpool had a 28-21 victory, and that was 3 days after September 11th, which was a weird night of high school football with no planes in the sky whatsoever. It's just weird. I remember how weird it was. It just felt weird, and you
Totally.
didn't know what was if anything was going to happen at a game somewhere because we just had a terrorist attack in our country, which made everything else like just made you look like your senses a little more alert. I guess it's
Yeah.
just a strange night.
Mhm.
Uh, and then Beaver local won last year, 20-16. Uh, there's no trophy for this rivalry like the Toronto and Wellsville had a trophy for their rivalry. Uh, Key player for the Potters is quarterback Ben Myers. Um, he's shown ability to make plays with both the arms and legs so far this season. And then for the Beavers, Lane Jones, one of their running backs, he's had a couple big runs on the season already. He's going to be the key to their running game. They're going to want to get that in the passing game going early, try to get the Potters to play from behind. Uh, the keys to victory for the Beavers: rebound from a tough loss to St. Clairsville. Didn't expect them to get just shellacked by St. Clairsville the way they did. I thought they'd be able, especially St. Clairsville losing to Norwayne, and they're not that good. So, um, yeah, just a shocking loss last week for the Beavers. Not that they lost, but just in the fashion they lost. And
It was
then they're
38
going
to
to want
7.
to, yeah, they're going to want to get their passing game going just to get think Wade Foster is their quarterback. They're going to want him just to get his confidence going early. You want your quarterback to be confident, and then you want to dominate the line of scrimmage. They should be bigger on the lines than East Liverpool. I have not seen East Liverpool this year, but in the past, they didn't have a huge offensive line. I mean, they had a couple big kids, but nothing like across the board size wise. It was like one big kid or maybe two big kids, and they were just put them on the left side of the line or the right side of the line, whichever way they're comfortable running. Um, for East Liverpool, they got them two explosive players we talked about before. Can't quite remember their names, but they have a lot of speed. So they're going to want to try to use that speed to their advantage because they're going to probably have that is going to be one of their few advantages over Beaver Local is speed. They're going to want to be disciplined on defense, and they're going to have to win the turnover battle. Which these keys sound the same for every team because they really are.
It's just the basis of football. Be
Yeah,
explosive, control the ball, be able to control the line, try to eliminate any tough penalties, be disciplined.
yeah. Uh, I feel like the Beavers definitely have the edge talent wise. The Potters could pull this upset out though. It's not like they're overmatched, obviously, because they lost by 4 last year. It's gonna be a tough game for East Liverpool, and you never know.
Yeah,
The road might get tougher, it might get easier for them. But East Liverpool's not a bad football team. They were a playoff team last year, so I think they
Yeah,
even won a
for
playoff game.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, we're good. Uh, yeah. So like East Liverpool, though they had this week and next week they play Beaver Local and St. Clairsville back to back, so it's a little tough for them there. And then they play Cambridge and Brook, which they get a couple wins. And then they play Edison, Weir, and then end with their rival Oak Glen from across the river. Uh,
Yeah, they can
Beaver
rattle off some
Local,
wins.
yeah, Beaver Local should be able to rattle off a bunch right here. A Liverpool, Salem, Union Local, Youngstown East, and then they play Indian Creek. So Indian Creek's going to be their next hard game, I'd say, and it's in Wintersville, so that might be a tough one for them to pick up a win as well.
Yeah.
Uh, Looking at the some computer points here, Wintersville Indian Creek is currently sixth in Division Four, Region 15, so they're sitting in that hosting in the first round spot since the top four get a bye. They might be able to sneak into that top four. You never know. To be a cheap way to get in the second round, get a bye in the first round. But hey, if you can get a bye, that
Works.
gives you a little rest, especially coming off a rivalry game like Creek will be. Um, Steubenville road looks tough to the playoffs because there isn't a lot of secondary points on their schedule. If they don't win against Mooney and they don't win against Park, they're going to be in trouble for secondary points, especially with only playing 9 games. You're not going to have a lot of secondary points to earn anyway.
Mhm.
Uh, Watterson currently sits second behind Hamilton Township in the region for Steubenville. That's Division Three, Regional 11. Uh, some of the teams in front of Big Red, they can get around pretty easy though. New Philadelphia, Bloom Carroll, Carrollton, uh, New Concord, John Glenn's 2-1. These are all teams that probably aren't going to go undefeated. I figure Big
No,
Red's limited amount of secondary points might be able to get them in to the top 12.
it's
Um,
just gonna be tough.
It's going to be tough, though. This is a tough region to begin with, and then to start out 0-2, looking at 0-3 possibly because you're playing a tough Mooney team. Um, yeah, looking around, see Mooney sitting third in their region in Division 5, and St. Clairsville's tied for seventh in that region. Uh, I'd like to see St. Clairsville and Mooney match up in the playoffs. Um, Barnesville's currently second in Division 5, Region 19. That's Union Locals in that region as well. They're down in 23rd with their only one win, but they're better than that one win right now. I feel like they'll get some wins and move up, be a playoff team. Uh, Division 6, I don't think we have a lot of Division 6 schools in our area.
I think East
Oh,
Palestine's D6.
yeah.
I think.
Uh, no, they're not. They would have been in this region I'm looking at. They're not on there. They must be 7. I know Toronto's 6. Yeah. Toronto, Fort Fry. They are currently sitting 8th and ninth in Division 6, Region 23.
Wow.
Yeah, those are the only two we have locally in D6. D7 is where you're going to find a lot of our schools. East Palestine's in Region 25. They're sitting in third. Uh, Lisbon Dave Anderson sitting in 11th in that region. And Wellsville down in 18th with no wins. Southern's down there tied with them with no wins as well. Um, and then in Region 27 should be a couple more of our teams. River is in ninth. Stillville Catholic Central is in 11th. Conotton Valley is in 12th. Uh, Frontier, they're in 16th. Bridgeport is in 18th. And Shadyside is in 21st. And that's all our local schools in those regions. We don't have Division 2 or 1 in our area, so we don't have that to talk about. I will most likely be going to the Barnesville game, but since I hit a deer with my truck, I don't know if that's going to happen now. uh, we'll see. Uh, I don't know. I might not drive all the way down there driving a gas hog.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, so I may not. I may end up at the Big Red Mooney game instead if I go to a game at all. It is my birthday, so maybe I just won't go to a game.
Over it by yourself.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't celebrate by myself. I just wouldn't go at a football game. uh, yeah, Indian Creek's at Weir. That might be a doable game. I don't know, but yeah, that's the only game I'm going to. You'll be going to the Mohawk game, I imagine.
Yeah, Mohawk against Elwood City.
Yeah,
Supposed to be a decent matchup.
yeah. You said their running back got hurt, so they got a true freshman running back. Well,
Yeah,
obviously he's a true freshman because there's no red shirts in high school.
but yeah, he's freshman running back. It's actually the running back's younger brother.
Oh,
That's who's
well
set
then,
running back. So
sure his
hopefully,
older brother's helping him out with stuff on the
I'd hope
play.
so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
if they get that running game going, they'll be looking a lot better. Because right now, the past 2 weeks, the quarterback's been all on him.
yeah. And it makes it tough when you become one dimensional. Um, yeah, I was really looking forward to going to Bardesville, but after creaming that deer this morning, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was exactly what I wanted to happen at 10 after 3 this morning. But it
Stupid
is what
deer.
it is. Yeah.
Stupid deer.
Came out of nowhere. Had no time to react.
But yeah, we got some good matchups this week. Definitely some good
Yeah, there's
ones.
some good ones going around the valley. So uh, hopefully everyone gets out and enjoys their high school football team's game this week. And maybe they'll comment down below, subscribe to us, and let us know what's going on with your team if we haven't talked
And
about them yet.
yeah, let us know where you're
Uh,
going. Any
yeah.
tips? Any updates?
Yeah. Player we need to look for. Maybe we overlooked. I mean, it's hard because not a lot of newspapers cover the games like they used to. It's very weird.
All our stuff on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, finding stuff on the internet's hard because there's not if it isn't a newspaper, there isn't stats. So finding a key player it makes it hard to see if especially if it's a team I'm not familiar with and I don't know what kind of offense they run. So I don't know if the quarterback's a key player, the running back, a wide receiver. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But, that'll be it for this week, huh?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. We'll get this posted and I don't know. Hopefully
Yeah.
everyone enjoys the show.
Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell a
Yeah.
random stranger.
Yeah.
They like high school football. Come watch.
Yeah, especially if you live in the Ohio Valley. We can't cover every team every week, but we'll try to cover as many as we can throughout the season, just to
Yeah.
highlight different teams. That's why we do the team of the week too.
Yeah. Give some love to some of the other teams.
Yeah. So until next week, thanks everybody.
Peace.